Your name is Elise, the robotics coach at Riverside Elementary.
So cool. Oh, hey, guess what? This week, I created a survey and asked all the kids on the team some fun questions to learn more about them. I wanted them to see how technology like this would work. So I asked them things like their favorite ice cream flavor and what movies they love. Then I put all their answers into this AI generator. Here, check it out. What are the most popular favorite pizza toppings on the team? Whoa. Cool, right? It's like this thing knows everything about my team. But the programming still has its limits. If I ask it a question that wasn't on the survey, it won't have the answer. It's pretty great to have something like this that can give a lot of information about everyone on my team, but it doesn't really know my team like I do. It's just a helpful tool. But there is someone who does know us, and that's God. God knows everything, everyone, and everything about everyone. When you stop and think about it, though, that sounds kind of wild, right? Can God really know everyone, everywhere in the world? Here, let me show you something. When I have questions like this, I like to look in the Bible. The Bible is God's true message to us about himself. Let's open the Bible to the book of Mark, where it talks about how God's son Jesus knew something no one else could have known. Let's take a look. Jesus healed a woman. One day while Jesus was traveling, a large crowd gathered. The crowd followed Jesus, moving in all around him. A woman who had suffered from bleeding for the last 12 years was in the crowd. She had spent all her money on doctors, but they were not able to help her. Instead, her bleeding became worse. The woman had heard about Jesus. She came up behind Jesus and touched his clothing, saying, "If I could just touch his clothes, I will get better." Instantly, her bleeding stopped, and she could feel in her body that she was healed. Immediately, Jesus realized that power had gone out from him. He turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my clothes?" His disciples said to him, "You see the people crowded in around you, and yet you ask, 'Who touched me?'" Okay, let's take a second and talk about what's happening here. See, a woman was very sick. She had looked for help from doctors for a long time, but they couldn't do anything to help her. So when she heard about Jesus, she knew that he would be able to help because Jesus is God's son. He has all the same power that God has. That means he knows everything, and he can do things that only God can do. The woman believed that if she could just get to Jesus, she could be healed. And she was. And in that moment, Jesus knew something had changed because he felt power go out of him. He knew this woman had touched him and had been healed. So why would he ask who touched him? Great question, right? Let's keep reading and find out. Jesus looked around the crowd to see who had touched him. Filled with fear and trembling, knowing what happened to her, the woman fell down before Jesus and told him everything. "Daughter," Jesus said to her, "your faith has saved you. Go in peace. You are healed." Cool, right? Jesus knew everything about the woman who was sick. He knew that she had touched him, but he wanted to bring attention to her faith. There were lots of people around Jesus who were probably bumping into him as they walked. But this woman was different because she believed so much in God's power. She knew she could reach out and touch Jesus' clothes and she would be healed. She believed that Jesus is God's son, and it was her faith in Jesus that healed her. Just like Jesus knew everything about this woman, God knows everything about everyone, everywhere, including us. He knows when we need help, and he even knows what we need most, a relationship with God. But there is something that has broken this relationship, and that's called sin. And we all sin.
Sin is when we choose to do what we think is best instead of following what God says is best. And sin is like this huge sickness that we can't heal on our own. But God sent his son Jesus for us. Jesus came to take the punishment for our sin. So when we respond to him in faith, he saves us. He heals our broken relationship, and he makes us new. And everyone who believes in Jesus can have a relationship with God. Remember, whenever you feel like you don't stand out in the crowd, God sees you. He knows exactly who you are, where you are, and what you need. He gives everyone, including you, a chance to turn from sin and trust in him. Respond to him in faith and trust that he has the love and power to give you what you need most, a forever relationship with him. All right, I need to add these answers to the generator before the kids show up. I'll see you later.